Everyone, it's Lissette here and welcome back to another video on my channel. So in this video I am dying to actually take these off and I think I'm just going to overlay my natural nails. So this will be a good way to show you guys just like a step-by-step basic how-to, I guess. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove both of these completely off. This is going on, I want to say, I think this is like 4 weeks and this is 3 weeks. And with this one looks like it didn't grow out as much, but that's because when I added these are full cover tips. When I added these, I pushed the tip itself up and back, so it gave it a little more time to fully grow out. So it looks like it didn't grow out that much, but yeah, it grew out. This one I already see it is coming off, it's lifted. And as far as the other ones, I can't really tell. I think this one was just lifted a little bit, but we're gonna strip it bare and get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use these clippers. These are actually toenail clippers, and I'm going to cut these off first. And the best way for me to do this is if you hold it like this in an angle, it'll cut straight like down that way instead of cutting it across. If you try to cut it straight across, it could be a possibility that it will go up, and you don't want to do that because that's where your nail bed is. So every time I cut it, I hold it to like that angle, and then I just hold it and I snap it off. So you see that it's just like, ooh, there you go, that's one. So I'm going to do all the other ones, and I forgot I did want to do an overlay, so I'm going to just cut this below that growth. And it just snaps off just like that. Now I'm gonna go in and remove all of the stones, and I'm going to use the same clippers for that. When doing my nails, I end up becoming a contortionist. I don't know. I've never even noticed it until someone commented about me grabbing my own finger the way I do, but it just helps me stabilize my finger. Usually when you're doing someone else's nails, you have both hands. With this one, I'm working on my own hands, so it just helps me get a better grip. Alright, you guys, so I cannot for the life of me get these other stones out, so I'm just going to file it off. So to take the rest of the product off, I'm going in with my extra coarse drill bit, and this is a 5-in-1 drill bit. I will leave a photo above explaining a little more, but this just means that it rotates both left and right side. The way the teeth are made, it can rotate both in the forward and the reverse position. And then from the tip, it is a coarse, the middle section is an extra coarse, and then the base of the drill bit is the extra coarse. So that's what the 5-in-1 drill bit means. So with this is hard gel, so it does not soak off. It has to be filed off. And I am actually using this at 15,000 RPM, but when I get closer to my nail bed itself, I file it so thin that I'm able to actually flick it off or peel it off, because remember, I do have a rubber base under this. If you want to soak these off, the only possible way that I can think of you being able to soak hard gel off, well, it's not really soaking hard gel off, if you apply 2 coats of that base coat and then you apply your hard gel on top, and then when you want to take it off, you file off the hard gel as thin as possible, and then you'll be able to soak off the base coat. That's the only way that I can think of even possibly trying to soak anything remotely close to working with hard gel. But once again, I am using this at 15,000 RPM, and once I get very close to that nail plate, I go very slow and I use the tip of my drill bit to file off the remaining. And if I'm able to flick it off or peel it off with my nail, that's where you see me trying to peel it off. But I usually file everything off, and I'm pretty good at getting close to it. Just comes with practice, and I don't like to soak off. I just feel like it just takes so much time. So my preference is just filing everything off and getting it as close as possible. Alright, so from there, I ended up taking off. This is what my nails look like. I did go in with the 180 hand file and just shape those edges. I was going to do them naturally like this, but I think I want them a little longer. So I'm probably going to add some forms to this. But right now I have my drill on, and it is set at 5,000 RPM. And this, I don't know what bit this is called. I will link it below, but this is a cuticle bit, and I'm going to go around that cuticle area and really pushing back my skin itself and removing any dead skin and removing all of that cuticle. I just want to point out that I am not going on my actual nail plate itself. I'm focusing on my cuticle area. My cuticles are in pretty bad shape. I admit I bite my cuticles. It's a habit, a bad habit. I mean, I don't bite my nails, but I do bite my cuticles. I bite my cuticles if I'm watching a movie, if I'm bored. And that's something that I am going to start working on, or I need to start working on, is taking better care of my cuticle. But I am a little more rough with mine because they are hard, and when doing this, I do advise people to not try to be not too rough, but just don't work in a high speed with this. Stay around that 3,000 5,000 RPM for anybody that you're working with. So from there, I'm going to go in with my ball cuticle bit, and I'm going to go back over my cuticle area, filing away any of that dead dry skin that's on my skin itself. And I'm going to be using this at 5,000 RPM. from there, I am going to take my 180 sanding band and I am going to go over the surface of the natural nail plate, and I'm going to put this at 5,000 RPM. When doing this, I make sure I am removing as much shine as possible. And for this, if it's really to go over the surface and just scratch up the surface, and this is going to allow whatever product you lay on top, whether it's straight on going in with the builder gel or just applying your rubber base, this allows whatever product you're applying to really stick and adhere to that nail bed. If you leave behind any type of oil or shine on the nail, I guarantee you will get lifting. So from here, I'm going to go in with some dehydrated. This is Mia's Secret's nail prep. It says to dehydrate natural nails, and this dissolves any oils that are left behind. After that, I'm going to go in with clear rubber base. This is from the Gel Bottle ink. But if you don't have this, you can definitely get your hands on this gelish foundation, and this will work just as good as this. This is just my personal preference for me to use the rubber base from the Gel Bottle ink. So I'm going to go in and just apply a thin layer to all of the nails and then cure it for 60 seconds. So from there, after I've cured it, I do want them a little bit longer. So I am going to go in and use these forms just to extend my nail bed a little bit more. Or extends my nail, period, a little bit more. So I'm going to pinch it right there for now. But I might only just extend it up to here or here, either 2 or 3, maybe 3. And I do want to do kind of not a coffin, maybe like a stiletto, but a short stiletto. So I'm going to use this Cover 10 by Mia's Secret. I'm going to go straight in with this color. I'm going to take a small amount, and I'm just going to go on the surface of the nail and just wet the surface. This is where I want the product to go. So I'm going to do a thin layer to the entire nail first. So after I've covered the whole thing, I'm going to take another small amount, add it to the bottom, and this is where I start floating the product where I want it to go. So I'm going from sidewall to sidewall. And then I just drag it down just a little bit. I am going to do a short nail. I'm going to do up to number 3. And I do turn my hand a couple times. Okay, so once I got that like that, I'm gonna cure it. I make sure I have it on both side walls. Now I'm gonna cure it. And now I'm gonna go in, and there was no heat spike and it's already hard. So I'm gonna coat in with a second amount. Add another wet layer. And this is where I'm gonna go in and build up the product. I'm adding my wet layer. where I want the product to go. Take a larger amount, like so. And then I just work it from left to right. So from here, if I feel like already the product I see is spilling to the side, I do flip my nail over with my finger and let the product move to the center of the nail before flash curing it. And if you don't want to get any heat spikes, you put the nail in, take it out, put the nail in, take it out, you ease it in each time, and then you won't get any heat spikes. And I'm gonna leave it in there for about 60 seconds. So after curing, I'm going to remove it because I want to make sure this is the shape and the length I want it. And yeah, I think I'm okay with this length. So after I was happy with that first thumbnail, I decided to go ahead and start doing the rest of the nails. Now I do advise to do one nail at a time. I mean, if you're really good, you can do 2 nails at a time, even 3. But if you're a beginner, I do advise you do 1 nail at a time, flash cure it, and then you can move on to the next nail because gel does slip and slide. It moves all over the place. You know, it's self-leveling. And when doing this, I am making sure I have enough product in that middle section, and this is where the apex is going to be. I really wish I would have put my nail to the side so you could see more of the apex, but I'm just making sure there's more structure and strength. I don't want that end to snap off, so just be mindful when applying gel you have enough product. With this gel, it ended up getting really cold in my house, so you're going to see it ends up becoming really thick. So the colder the room or the colder the temperature of the room is, your gel does tend to get thicker. If it is too warm, it can get softer. So that's just a quick tip if you're trying to figure out why your gel used to be soft and now it's so thick. It's probably the temperature in your household or where you're storing it, you know? So once it is fully cured, I'm just gonna use actually alcohol. I'm gonna take some alcohol and clean the underneath side as well as the surface of the nails, and then we're gonna go into filing. For this, I'm going to take my 100-180 grit hand file, and this is where I start shaping the tip to get it more of an almond shape. Hard gel is extremely easy to file. I mean, it is way easier to file than acrylic, but what I like to do is I like to go from the underneath side, and then I turn my hand file straight up in a 90-degree angle just to get those sidewalls in. And since I already built these nails, I structured these nails in the shape that I wanted, it was real easy for me to just get those sidewalls a little more straight and crisp, and to really get my definition of the shape I wanted more defined and faster. I do end up going over top the nail as well, just to really shape that and make sure there's no like lumps or bumps, and it's all even on top as well. So when doing this, I always use my 180 hand file to do the top section. I do end up taking out like an 80-80 hand file sometimes when I am doing my free edge or like the sidewalls, but to do the top I would not advise you use the 80-80 because that is too coarse, and you could leave really harsh dents and lines on the top portion of your nail, and that can cause cracking if your nail file is too hard. You know, like I said, gel is really soft and it's easy to file, so the most you would probably need is a 180 and you would be like good to go. But after I end up shaping the nails and going over top, I do go close to that cuticle section as well, and then I do go onto my left hand. So this is what they look like after filing. Now I am gonna go in with my fine tapered drill bit, and this is where I go around that cuticle area and seal it. I'm gonna turn it on to 13,000 RPM. This is a step that you can skip. I personally like to do it. It just helps me and lets me know for a fact that there won't be any cause for lifting, you know, no liquid or no moisture can get underneath that. So for me, sealing this with an e-file just makes me, I guess, feel a little better. But you can definitely do this part with the hand file, and if you're more afraid to use a drill close to that cuticle section, yeah, I do advise just go in with the hand file, and you could do this exact same step manually. Now that I did all of my cuticle, I'm gonna go in with this buffing block, and this buffing block is a regular white buffing block that I use. I just cut it in half and it just saves me, it's just for my personal use, but I'm gonna go over and just file and buff over top. So after buffing, I like to take a brush and some alcohol and just brush all of the dust off. It just really scrubs into the cuticle area as well, removing all of that extra, you know, dirt, not dirt, but dust. And then also cleaning underneath the nails. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. And this is it. From here you can go in and do your design if you want to, or just leave it like this. I'm going to leave it just like this, but I am going to clear top coat them. So for this, I'm going to use the Glass Finish UV LED gel, and this is like super shiny. And then I'm just going to do a layer on each and then cure for 60 seconds. And this is what it looks like. I haven't worn short nails in so long, but I like them. They're so cute, and the color is like perfect. So I am loving this covered tan color by Mia Secret. I really hope this was informative and it helped some people out when trying to do their own nails. If I've left something out, or if you're confused or you need a little more explanation on something, let me know in the comments. I'll be sure to do another video or even addressing it directly to you. But let me know what you guys think. Oh, here I'm just pointing out that I have a little air bubble. So that kind of bothered me, but I was actually really happy with how they look and the shape of them. So yeah, let me know what you guys think and what are your thoughts, and how are you guys learning to do your own nails, and if this was helpful. As always, thank you everyone for taking the time out to watch this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media accounts, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys in the next one.